Let's keep that train running. Yesterday we talked about Lloyd Bannings. Today let's talk about another one of his fellow SSS members, Puyo Plato. Puyo's the Special Support Section's go-to tech wizard, and probably the most tech-literate character in the whole of Trails, except for maybe Ren. If you need something hacked, if you need something found on the newly functioning internet, Puyo's your girl. She's also one of Crossbell's most proficient magic users. Ellie is definitely up there, but I'd put Puyo above her. Her usage of the then newly crafted Eon system by Foundation, that I'm not going to name, helps her boost her range and abilities a lot. But let's talk a little bit about what her roles in that Foundation actually are and how she got there. Puyo's backstory is essentially she was kidnapped by a cult and experimented on. Not the greatest history for her. But as one of the survivors of it, it gave her a lot of boosted abilities. She has a better connection to the world. She can sense magical and orb-mental phenomenon going on way better than other people, especially with the aforementioned Eon system. The Eon system was kind of crafted for her to boost her abilities. She ends up joining the SSS specifically because Guy Bannings, Lloyd's brother, is the one that saved her from this cult, and she went looking for him. Of course, by this point, Guy was dead, so she wasn't really going to find him, but she finds Lloyd and the other SSS members, and quickly forms a really nice bond with them. Puyo's about as sarcastic as you can get, and because of that, she was the standout and my early favorite in Zero. One of the things I really like about Puyo is, while she doesn't let her past get to her, it also doesn't not affect her. There are a bunch of moments where she's kind of paralyzed by the events that happen, which makes sense. She's by far the youngest member of the SSS, and one of the youngest characters in Trails as a whole. She doesn't let that age hold her back, though. She's extremely proficient and knows what she can do. But at the same time, that age does definitely show up in her character, especially around Mishi, the stand-in for Mickey Mouse and Disney in the Trails world. Probably my favorite scene with Puyo is when Lloyd has to stand in for Mishi in a side quest, and she realizes, oh no, there's a person in that costume. Puyo definitely shows some of the best growth of the SSS characters. By the time of Cold Steel, she's a researcher for the aforementioned research organization that I'm not going to mention the name of. And she's just competent. Everybody turns to her for help. She's just a very strong, well-liked person. In fact, there's not many characters that are more necessary to the plot than Puyo. She's one of my favorite characters to use, she's one of my favorite characters to see show up in the plot, and she's just one of my favorite parts of Trails as a whole. Let me know if you'd want me to talk about Puyo more, and if you have any other characters you want me to talk about down below, and follow for more.